So, this is a video I did not plan on making tonight, and you can kind of tell because I'm doing narration here instead of using the mic on the GoPro. I didn't have the right case on the GoPro, and I was kind of in a hurry. Over the last about 24 hours, we've got probably half inch or so of rain, followed by about 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches of snow. Originally, I wasn't going to do anything with the snow here, mostly just because of the temperature and it was muddy underneath the snow. In fact, parts of the driveway, there was so much water in the driveway that you could see it on top of the snow. It was coming up. But after watching the UPS guy almost get stuck in the driveway, I opted to go ahead and come out and scrape off the driveway. First time the 4066, I've used it in or pushing the equivalent of wet concrete. I think it handled it very well. Made a muddy mess, but certainly did its job well. Um, the rubber edge certainly helped in this particular case. I think in the future I may go back and strengthen that rubber edge with some thicker rubber, maybe this summer. Haven't really decided yet, but we'll go from there. So, unplanned video in terms of pushing snow. I was actually quite happy with the way the 4066 pushed the snow. All total, it took me approximately 16 minutes to do this, including what you already see there on the right hand side of the screen. But I'll go ahead and speed the video up here, and I'll just kind of talk about a couple other things that have been on my mind. So I'd figure I'd take this approximately 2.5 minutes and the rest of the remainder of this video and talk about some of the things that I'm planning on doing this spring. Much like last spring, if you watch some of those videos where I was using the 42 tiller for the first time, we were putting in some tree lines, and in fact, in this video, you can see the small line of spruce trees up front next to the road there. I put in several, I think there's 13 more spruce trees along a line. I'm actually going to come back in, or we're going to come back in and put another line of spruce trees behind that. So there'll actually be 3 lines of spruce trees up there next to the road this coming spring. Also, so you'll see lots of activity with the X748 and the tiller. Hopefully, one day in the future, I'll be able to find a nice big tiller for the 4066. But until then, I'll be perfectly happy with the 42 tiller on the X748, and maybe even tiller on the round fender. Also, we're going to go ahead and one of the videos I have not shown, mostly because it didn't turn out, is we made some renovations to our vegetable garden. Maybe might be a couple videos for that this spring that I'll come up with, and also I think I'm going to. As part of the video, this area that I'm pushing the snow into right now, the plan is we're actually going to grass that. You see there, and I haven't talked about it yet in a video, mostly because the weather hasn't been conducive to actually go out there and talk about it. Back in October, I made the video with the whole home generator, and that has actually now been installed, and so it's there. And so we can't have our burn pile there anymore. That's where the burn pile had been at. So we'll need to move the burn pile because I'm going to grass all that in because I don't want a burn pile right next to the LP tank. That's kind of stupid. And so that's got to move, and we'll probably rip up a lot of that gravel and stuff in there, stockpile it in the back of the property, and we'll go ahead and grass all that. Hopefully that'll be a project early spring. But that's kind of that. Those are two of the big projects for this spring, obviously, with continued projects in the shop and everything. Another thing that you might see this spring or summer, hopefully at some point, I'm going to start working on a replacement for the 1445. No, there is nothing wrong with the 1445, but I'm at the point now where I either need to spend a lot of money going ahead and rebuilding the deck. I need to buy a nice used low hour deck, buy a new deck for the 1445. There's nothing wrong with the machine itself, other than I need to service the injectors. But the deck has definitely got some wear on it that we need to do something about it. So that's certainly something you will see as we move forward. Probably when I get the decks down, we'll I'll go over some of the costs associated with owning a front mount, because obviously the cost of owning a front mount is pretty high, but your cost per acre. So we will see how that all pans out in the end. Hopefully, get a new deck or a new unit. I really like the machine itself, so I don't really want a new unit, but sometimes you have to buy a new one to get what you want. So that's it for right now. Thank you very much for watching, and I've got a couple videos coming up. I'm going to try really hard to stick to the 2 day schedule that I've been on since mid January. Some days there'll be, decent videos. Other days, I certainly understand if you don't like them. Just kind of giving you updates as I go along. As we get into spring, I'll have more projects, obviously, and that'll be all the better. So, thank you very much.